reached one of the most important part of this chapter, from where many questions are asked in entrance exam as well. So you have to be very careful in this section, and that is plant growth regulators or PGRs. Plant growth regulators are very simple organic substances which are required in very low concentration, and they affect the physiology and the functioning of the plant body, growth and development of the plant body overall. Okay, just like hormones are to animals, these are to plants, and hence plant growth regulators are also known as phytohormones. Okay, now see, as per definition, these are simple organic substances of diverse or different chemical composition which are required in low concentration like hormones in animals. Okay, hence phytohormones, right? Now phytohormones that has been discovered so far are of 5 types, and they are auxin, gibberellin, cytokinin, ethylene and abscisic acid. As I have told you, they are going to be affecting the overall growth and development of the plant body. By affecting, it can be positive effect, it can be negative effect as well. That means this particular phytohormones, they can act as growth promoters, also they can act as growth inhibitors. So let's first know that out of these 5, which are growth promoters and which are inhibitors. First thing, auxin, gibberellin, cytokinin, these 3 are growth promoters. They will always positively affect the growth and development of the plant body. On the other hand, abscisic acid is a strict growth inhibitor. Okay, now what is left is ethylene. Now for ethylene, we cannot directly say it's a promoter or inhibitor, because it can act sometimes as promoter and sometimes as inhibitor, but mostly as inhibitor. Okay. Also, these particular chemicals, they are of different composition. They have diverse composition. So also you should have an idea about what kind of derivative they are. Like auxin is an indole compound. So it is going to be a tryptophan or amino acid derivative. Likewise, gibberellin or gibberellic acid is terpene derivative, cytokinin adenine derivative, ethylene is a hydrocarbon, a simple hydrocarbon, and it's the only gaseous phytohormone, and abscisic acid is carotenoid derivative. Okay, so they are of diverse nature, diverse composition. So now finally let's see which is the first phytohormone that got discovered, and that is auxin. Auxin is the first phytohormone to get discovered. Auxin, the term comes from a Greek letter or Greek word, that is, auxin itself means to grow. Okay. Now, as per the discovery of auxin, the first observation regarding auxin was done by Charles Darwin and his son Francis Darwin, who observed that when stimulus of light, unilateral beam of light, is going to be perceived by colluptile tip of canary grass, there will be a bending seen. Okay, there will be a bending seen in there, but in this particular plants or in this colluptile tip, but the bending will be produced in the subapical zone. So in short, whenever a colluptile tip of canary grass will be exposed to unilateral beam of light, it will start to bend, but the bending is not going to be observed exactly at the tip, rather in the subapical zone. It will not occur at the apex, rather at the subapical zone. Is that clear? Now, this was not, but Charles Darwin and Francis Darwin was not given the credit to the discovery of auxin. There were many experiments that had to be performed finally to come to a conclusion. Like, these were a series of experiments done after Charles Darwin and Francis Darwin's observation. Like, a colluptile tip was cut, it was decapitated, its tip was cut and removed, and then it was exposed to light, and we could see that there was no bending observed. Okay, without the tip there was no bending. Also, when the tip, rather than removal of the tip, when we covered it with a opaque tin foil, after that when it was exposed to unilateral beam of light, even then there was no bending. But finally, when the tip of the canary grass would be covered with a translucent paper or translucent foil, and then it was exposed to light so that the light will be able to penetrate through it, then finally we see that bending is observed. That means this bending is observed only when something at the tip would perceive the light and show the stimulus towards light, and the bending exactly will not be happening at the apex, rather will be occurring at the subapical zone. Fine. Now, Isolation of auxin was for the first time done from human urine sample because it does not have any metabolic role inside our body. And final discovery, the person who got the credit to the discovery of auxin is F.W. Wendt, and he experimented with oats collucti. Okay, first observation might have been done by Charles Darwin and Francis Darwin, but the credit to the discovery is given to F.W. Wendt on oats collucti. Do remember, this is a very important information. Alright. Now, precursor is the derivative of auxin is going to be tryptophan, which is an amino acid, and the occurrence, where exactly in the plant body will it be produced, and that will be the growing tips of the plant body, that is the root tip and shoot tip, where meristematic activity occurs. There exactly auxin will be produced, but then from there it will move towards its site of functioning. Its site for functioning, the bending like you have seen, will be occurring in the subapical zone. It may be produced in the tip, but from there it will move towards its site of action. Okay. Now, moving to the types of auxin. Auxin can be of two types: naturally occurring auxin, that is naturally produced in the plant body. For example, indole acetic acid and indole butyric acid, IAA and IPA. But also there are various types of artificial auxin produced in the laboratory, and they are 2,4-D, NAA, 2,4,5-T, etc. Full forms would be 2,4-dichlorophenoxyacetic acid, naphthalene acetic acid, 2,4,5-trichlorophenoxyacetic acid, etc. Okay. Now finally, moving to the main part from which is important for your exam, and that is the function and uses of auxin. You might be thinking function and uses kind of are synonyms. They can be used interchangeably, right? But here what I mean by function is that what is the natural role of auxin in the plant body? What exactly is auxin doing for the plant? What is the function of auxin inside the plant body? But uses means how are we commercially utilizing auxin for our benefit? Okay, how can we be using auxin commercially? That's why uses and functions have been separated. So first, talking about the functions. First is abscission. Abscission means shading of leaves. Okay, that is called abscission. Now, abscission is going to be inhibited by auxin. Okay, the leaves, for the falling of leaves, there is a specific layer called abscission layer that needs to be formed. Under a particular concentration of auxin produced in the plant body, the leaves are not allowed to form that abscission layer, and due to that the shedding of leaves will be prevented. The shedding of leaves will be prohibited. Okay, but then also there is a high concentration of auxin in which again leaves may fall as well. So in short, we can say, instead of making you confused, you should remember that auxin prevents the falling of young leaves, okay, by not allowing abscission layer to form, but it also promotes the falling of or shedding of old leaves. Understood this? Auxin promotes the falling of old leaves, but it inhibits the falling or shedding of young leaves. Okay. Now, apical dominance. Apical dominance means a very, very important phenomena. It has been observed that in the presence of apical bud in the plant body, the lateral buds are not allowed to grow. It is as if the apical bud is dominating the lateral buds and are not allowing them to grow. Okay, so it has been experimentally proven that the apical bud is actually not preventing the growth of the lateral buds. Rather, in the apical bud, the high concentration of auxin that is present, that auxin does not allow the growth of the lateral buds. So basically, auxin do not allow the lateral buds to grow or to arise out in the presence of it. In high concentration of auxin present in the shoot apical bud, the lateral buds would not be allowed to grow, and that's what is called apical dominance. So in short, auxin promotes apical dominance. Okay. Then cell division. Of course, because auxin is present in the shoot tip and root tip where meristematic activity occurs, so of course auxin is going to be very much helpful in cell division process seen in this meristems. So cell division is promoted by auxin. Okay, after all, it's a growth promoter. So cell division is promoted by auxin. Then xylem differentiation. You know that xylem is a complex tissue made up of various types of cells like tracheids, vessels, xylem parenchyma, xylem fiber, right? So all this differentiation to form a complex tissue like xylem is promoted by auxin. Alright? Coming to phototropism, that itself has led to the discovery of auxin, that auxin will promote phototropism. It will allow the bending of the plant towards light. Also, it promotes geotropism, okay, movement of plant roots towards gravity, okay. Now, moving to the uses, how commercially we can utilize auxin. So, first is rooting. Auxin is going to be a very important factor used by the horticulturist to promote rooting in vegetative propagates. Okay, suppose you have a stem cutting. Before you put it into the soil, if you dip that stem cutting into a dilute solution of auxin for a few minutes and then you put it into the soil, this kind of guarantees root formation from that plant part. Okay, so that is very much utilized by the horticulturist or by the agriculturist for promoting root formation, and for this purpose the major auxin that are used are NAA and IBA. Okay, now flowering. Not in all plants, but in plants like pineapple or lychee, flowering is promoted by auxin, and for that the auxin that are used will be NAA and 2,4-D. Coming to parthenocarpy, parthenocarpy is important commercially. Why? Because parthenocarpic fruits are seedless, and of course seedless variety of fruits are much more popular than seeded ones, right? So auxin like IAA and IBA are introduced in the plants to make or to introduce parthenocarpy in them, so that the fruits that they bear will be seedless, hence commercially more popular. Okay. Last of all is weedicides. You know that there are various unwanted plants that grows in the agricultural fields, and they are weeds. They are called weeds. So we can use certain of auxins like 2,4-D to remove dicot weeds from monocot plots or monocot fields. Okay, so 2,4-D is a very important and popular form of weedicide. So this being said regarding auxin, next let us discuss gibberellin.